Good morning, chat. My name is Penbu. I'm the programming, puzzle gaming, and music making VTuber on Linux, and today, for once, we are actually programming. uh, Hello everyone. I hope you're all doing well. We are picking up awafudge. It's our old esoteric programming language that we had started 10 months ago, apparently, back in November. And I was looking at dates, and the original proposal that I had sent in the Phase Connect Discord, turns out this was sent almost exactly a year ago, September 4 of last year. So it's been a while, and I was hoping we'd be able to finish this before then, but I guess here we are. Atlas Chainsteel 539, welcome in. Let's see here. But yeah, I mean, better late than never, I suppose, so we may as well work on this. The last time we were working on the interpreter, today, perhaps we're going to turn this into TypeScript, because every time for the past few streams I said, I wish we had done this in TypeScript, and maybe now's the time to actually do this in TypeScript. There were some reasons why I didn't want to do this in TypeScript to begin with. Not because I think TypeScript is bad, but because there are some issues with getting it running, let's say, as a CLI. They're all solved issues, but there were things I didn't really want to deal with. But it seems like we're probably going to have to deal with them now. The main issue there is that Node does not support TypeScript natively, so you have to do a transpile step to be able to get things running. TS Node exists. And this is a tool that allows Node to run TypeScript natively, I guess. I think what it does is transpiles first, and then it runs the transpiled version. Perhaps this will end up getting used, perhaps not, we'll see. But anyway, TypeScript, for those of you who have not seen this before, is basically the way it's described is JavaScript, but with types. And that is actually a pretty decent way of describing it. JavaScript is valid TypeScript, and TypeScript, all it generally does is it adds type annotations to things, does the actual type checking at compile time or transpile time, and potentially in some forms adds upcoming JavaScript features. So that'll be nice to have, except I don't think we'll be making use of any of those. TypeScript comes JavaScript via the delete key. Yeah, so basically if you get rid of all the type annotations, it becomes JavaScript. For the most part. So how do we do this? I don't know. We'll find out, because I haven't really I have been involved in a project that converted a JavaScript library to a TypeScript one, but I wasn't doing the actual conversion, so we'll see. First thing I do know we'll have to do, I'm gonna make a branch, TypeScript, and then we're going to do, I don't know, install TypeScript, I think. How do I install this thing? I'm pretty sure you just install TypeScript. Like this. But I don't need to install this globally. I think there was something npx. You can use npx or similar tools if you prefer to run TSC from local node modules instead. Tutorials. No. Migrating from JavaScript, this is what we want. Setting up your directories, this is fine. Should make this a little bit bigger. Writing configuration file. Sure. Can we just do a TSC init? Maybe. First step, to rename one of your JS files to TS. Weeding out errors. Getting the declaration files. So one of the options we have here, so TypeScript can operate in two ways. One is with actual TypeScript file where you're writing in TypeScript, and that has the extension .ts. And then you have the option to keep your JavaScript files, but to write type annotations in a separate file. And that would be .d.ts. The second way is the way that the Svelte project ends up doing it. For reasons that I think they said is slightly simpler in terms of getting things up and running, because there's no transpilation step, but you still get all the type checking you get from JavaScript. But then the downside to that is that your types are in a separate file. I think for us it's probably going to be simpler to have it in the same file, but then we have to have a transpilation step. But you know, that's fine. Well, some of the other stuff that I have planned for this project requires other workarounds for other things anyway, so it's probably not too bad. Okay, so we're going to install TypeScript. I think that's the first thing to do. By the way, this is labeled as a work session, so this is mostly meant to be productive rather than entertaining or educational, but if you find some sort of education out of this, then great. But do feel free to ask questions, because I am here to answer any questions that you might have. So npm install save dev TypeScript, so that we have it here locally. Oh, one high severity vulnerability. Okay, audit. Let's deal with this first. Uncontrolled resource consumption and braces for braces. Okay. I'm gonna stash this. Check out this again. npm audit fix. And so then we upgrade the version of braces to 0.3. Fixes a vulnerability. High, what do they call this? High severity vulnerability. Okay, that's fine. Now we can go back to this. And then we rebase onto main. Not that there's anything there. Probably just reset. And then now we're building on top of main again. Okay, so git stash pop. We got our changes back. And hopefully this... Okay. So that looks decent. Add TypeScript as dev dependency. I think I spelled that right. Okay, so now we can do npx tsc init. I think. TypeScript in it? I think? Well, we got git anyway, so if it doesn't work, then it doesn't work. That's not the tsc command you're looking for. I already did npm install TypeScript. Okay. ESC. I don't want to have to install this back globally though. I could make an npm script. Like npx is supposed to do this though. npm exec. What is -c? No C are all provided, and the positional arguments used to generate the command string, and no package options are provided. So, okay, sure. npx or npm versus exec. All flags and options must be set prior to any positional arguments. Sure. So what is -c? Ah, arbitrary. Okay. So we can do something like npx tsc init. Or not. Node modules, bin, dot bin. I should see a TSC in here somewhere. I guess not. Okay. Maybe that's why. I do have TypeScript here though. So what's wrong? Maybe we need the TSC? No, but installing TypeScript should add TypeScript. Oh, I know what happened. We went back to main and that removed TypeScript from node module, so we gotta do a reinstall. Okay, so npm or npx tsc, and then init. This looks about right. tsconfig.json. Target ES 2016. CommonJS. It's all fine. Yes, module interrupt true. Works true. Now I can't remember, did we... Those are all JS files. Those are all JS files. Okay, that's good. That means that we're not working with modules and we can just convert them as is. Should. Okay. tsconfig.json. Where is this going to dump this in? It's in the dist. We're going to do build. We can make this C. npm run builds. And this should dump something somewhere. No inputs were found. Config file specified. Include paths where this and exclude paths with that. And of course, because we have no TypeScript files. Okay, so we're going to add tsconfig.json here. Configure TypeScript with capitalization. Default output of TSC int. Okay. And then we can go in and just source. I guess we can take token types. Because this one would be an enum this was meant to be an enum. So this is actually a perfect perfect one to move to an enum. So we're going to change this from J to T. And then we're going to try the building again. Build. Cannot find name module. It begins indeed. Okay, so then we go here. Why are there two? I thought I said move. Oh, I need to specify an output directory, that's why. tsconfig. Out file. Specify file that bundles all the out declarations true, also designates a file that bundles all DTS output. I think we want this one out, dear. This one is interesting. I don't know if we need that. I don't think we need to emit declarations only because we want the JavaScript files too. So I'm going to remove source token types.js. That's the that is the transpiled version. Now we're going to do build again, and hopefully this actually puts something in dist. Okay. So this looks correct for the most part. I'm going to change this to do export token type. I'm going to build again. No errors this time. But where are my DTSs? Hold on. Why do I have two of these? I don't need this one. Mr. A, welcome in. What does this do? So right now we're working on a project called awafudge. This is an esoteric programming language that we've been working on for the past 5-6-ish streams. It's been about a year. And we wrote it in JavaScript, and now I'm converting it to TypeScript because things are going to be much easier to work with in TypeScript because we have types. But it's just a programming language. Eventually we're going to make this base stuff, but we're not quite there yet. Okay. Why are we not getting... Why are we not seeing declaration files? Specify an output folder for all emitted files. Declaration is true. It also designates a file that bundles emitted files. Okay, so where's declaration? Specify the directory for... Okay, so we'll make this also dist, I think. No implicit any. So does it take things you type and convert it to something else? Sort of. Let me demonstrate here actually, because so what we have here, if I remember how to run any of this stuff. I think it was node task source formatters. This? How did we do this before? I think it was node, and then we required... We did this. And then we did... p.parse. p.card. It's been a while. And you... Okay, p.parse is a thing then. Okay, this is correct. So yeah, it kind of takes things you type and convert it to something else. So what we're writing is called a compiler. It takes some codes written in one language, and then I guess it's more of a transpiler, but almost the same thing. It takes code from one language and turns it into code from another language. In this case, we're going between BF and awafudge. This here is the parser, where it takes the text of the code from the one language and then parses them into tokens that can then be processed into whatever you want. Either you can interpret them or you can turn them into the second language. So the parser, where did we get this from? Oh yeah, no, that was the parser. Okay, no, that makes sense. We do this again. It's been a while. We last touched this thing 2 months ago, so I don't remember the exact specifics of things. But this is the parser, and then we have the formatter. This is the formatter, or the parser for that one, and we can do, say, require source formatter awafudge module not found. Formatter without the... Okay. Where is this? Hello? How many levels is it from the ones and zeros? Quite a lot. Most of the time you're not working with ones and zeros with these high-level programming languages. If you're at the level of ones and zeros, you're working with what's essentially like a machine code. One level above that is assembly. And then above that is a fairly low-level language like C. And then you have higher and higher level languages above from that. We're working with something that's somewhat low level. So we pull up the esolang wiki. And the way this language works is that you have these commands. So you have the mental model for this is a tape. You have a number of cells on the tape. I wonder if we can pull up a visualization here. This one. Alright, you have a number of cells in the tape, and then you use these commands to move this pointer. So let's say we do this, right? That moves the pointer one to the right. If we do the plus, it moved the pointer to the right and then added or increments of the number in the pointer. So add more delay there. And we can keep doing that. Right, and every command here follows another step. And that's essentially all that programming is. But this particular language is not a very useful language. It's what's called it has a property called turn completeness, which means it can compute anything that you could ever possibly compute, but it's not very efficient at doing so. For example, just to print hello worlds requires all these, right? And it's not very easy to look at that. It's not very obvious what this does or how it does things, right? But it can do it. I'm not going to wait for this to finish. Or maybe I will wait for this to finish a little bit. But it printed out hello world in here. So in a way, it is closer to ones and zeros, but also in a way it's kind of not really. The language that we're implementing it in is JavaScript. It's the language that you use in browsers. And that's a much higher level language than this is. Because you have things like... Let's pull up an actual file. You have things like this where you can... Maybe not this one. But anyway, yeah, you have things like this where you can have a variable, which is basically a container for some sort of data, and then you can do certain things based on what the value of that variable is, and you can actually read what it's doing. For something like what we saw earlier, you can't read what it's doing, at least not very easily. And you can do things like define functions, which are small bits of code that you can call over and over again. things like that. Meanwhile, we were right, trying to run the program. I think it was bf.parse. All right, we're turning the program from one language, and we can format them into into one of the other languages. And I can't remember what this. Oh, right, this. And the module not found because can't find module token types. Ah, yes, because we got rid of it. That's why. So we're going to temporarily copy this over to source so we can get this thing running. Okay, so now that actually works. And so we can do this parse thing, and then we can do formats. Format, yeah. And then we get the other language as the output. So this translates to this. I guess that's a good way of saying it. It's basically a translator. Okay, so now we can remove that. Source token types.js. So we export token type, exports default token type. Sure. Does it find and replace things? Good question. So what we have here is not it does find things, but not quite the way that you might expect it to. So we have here written a grammar file, is what that's called. Sets ft equals yak, I think. Okay, yeah. A grammar file that tells it in what are essentially chunks, what to look for. So say in English grammar, you can have the subject, and then the verb follows the subject, and the noun, and then an object following a verb, and then the subject and object are both nouns, and so on and so forth. This kind of breaks it down in a similar way, where we're saying the program is a set of operations, and operations is either a bunch of operations, an operation that follows a bunch of other operations, or an operation that follows a space and some other operations. And then further down it says that the operation is either a decrement, an increment, left shift, right shift, whatever. And you go all the way down until you get to the individual characters. So in this case, a question mark, exclamation mark, or an or a wa, and so on and so forth, or spaces here, or the end of file. And then from there, it builds a certain, what's called a parse tree, where you saw earlier, right here, right? We parse this. We parse this as 7 increment instructions and 5 decrement instructions, and left shift, right shift, and loop. So we parse it into a number of tokens, and then the formatter takes those tokens and outputs whatever it needs to output for this. So in this case, all these AWAs, according to certain rules. So at a high level, yes, it does find and replace things, but not find and replace like you would in a text editor. Right, and I think I was looking for declaration files here. Declaration dir cannot be specified without specifying option declaration or option composite. Oh, there it is. There it is. Create source maps for DTS files. Do we need this? Create source map for emitted JavaScript files. That would be good to have. I'm gonna say probably yes. This would probably be good to have. Out dir and declaration dir are probably also worth having. Maybe. Run builds. Okay, so now we can look in the dist directory and have this. We see that. We have DTS and DTS map, token types, and token types map. And so this is what I expect to see. Looks about right. Okay. And so now we can say that in our git ignore, somewhere in here, probably at the end for the start. Actually, this is already here, so we don't care. Package.json, what's in here? Build TSC. Package.json ts config. Out builds to tsr dist directory. Okay. And so now we have a working TypeScript builds pipeline, or build commands, and we can actually start migrating things over. Git add source token types dot js and t. Okay, now we're mostly renamed. Migrates token types to TS. And we're also going to do another thing here. So go back to token types. This is going to be an enum. So an enum in TypeScript is basically a. This doesn't look right. Enum in TypeScript is a lot like enums in other languages. And actually, I think they should be equal signs. I think I have that correct. An enum member name must be followed by a comma. Okay, so these should be commas then. Okay, sure. So an enum in TypeScript is a lot like enums in other languages. Enum here being short for enumeration, where basically you're giving names to certain types in a set. So in this case, a token. Okay, type here is going to be redundant. We're going to get rid of that later. But a token is, in this case, either a right shift, a left shift, increment, decrement, write, read, and loop. And anything else is not a token. And we do this so that we can change the underlying value, or in other words, we don't care about the underlying value, and we care about what it means. And so enums allow us to have a higher level view of the type. So yeah, I'm probably going to change this to instead of token type to just token. I don't know. Maybe that'll be okay actually. Yeah, that should be fine. Okay, hold on. No, something's wrong about this one. I need you to also Allow JS files. Allow JavaScript files to be a part of your program. Use the check.js option to get those files. So we do want this actually. For now. For now. Declaration emit for this file is required. Required name parser. Explicit type annotation may unblock declaration emit. Okay, that's fine because we do need a specific type for parser. That's fine. But that should give us a bunch of stuff in dist, so it should be okay. However, source roots. Specify the root path for debuggers to find the reference source code. I don't think this is... Yeah, I don't think this is it. Excludes. Includes. What I'm trying to find here is a way to exclude the tests. Actually, maybe I don't care about excluding the tests. Maybe it's fine. Maybe it's fine. We don't need that. For now, I'm going to say this is fine. I don't know how other people do this. Whenever I'm on a TypeScript project, it's already set up for me. I haven't... Either it's already set up for me, or it's already there from the start. I've never actually done a TypeScript migration myself, so I don't know how this actually works. Mood, yeah. Yeah, I guess you learn this once and then you just remember it afterwards. This is the once, I guess. Targets, out deer. Okay, hold on. They did give us a thing though. We should at least maybe consider reading that. Setting out your directories. On a source lib or dist directory, then run as desired. If that's the case, the files you've written are going to be used as inputs to TypeScript. You'll run the outputs it produces. During our JS to TS migration, we'll need to separate our input files to prevent TypeScript from overwriting them. Okay. You might also be running some intermediate steps on your JavaScript, like bundling using other transpilers. Sure. We're going to assume your directory is set up something like this. In this case, this is dist for us. If you have a test folder outside your source directory, you might have one TS config in source and one in test as well. We're going to have one for both, probably. So outdir builds allow JS true, target ES5. So far we have everything there. We do need to do this though. Because we only need the ones in the source directory. I don't know if we care. It seems to just work. It might be okay. We're not using Webpack, so we're not going to do that. Exporting from modules. So you'll need to entirely override the exports object, okay? TypeScript, too many, too few arguments, okay, don't care yet. Stricter checks. Checks, okay. That's fine. I saw it in here though. I don't know where it went. But also maybe it doesn't matter. Ah, it's because it's actually not part of the not for the default config. So if we include source slash this, then that should take care of everything that's in the source directory, and only build the ones that are in the source directory. RMR dist, get rid of all that, and npm run builds, rebuild it again. That's fine, we expect that. And we look at dist, and we get this stuff. Which is, frankly, what we expect, I think. So this is fine. Oh. Okay, there was an issue at work that had something to do with it picking up source directories and putting it in the dist directory, and maybe this is why. We just needed to add an include. Yeah, I'll have to remember that. So then the question is, how do our tests run? Because now it's doing this, and we can't do that. Only build source file. Converts token types to enum. That's what we did there. Okay, so now we got to get our tests working again. Now I'd suggest here that maybe we should have a TS config for the tests too. And perhaps that's correct. Perhaps we should do that. Look, TypeScript. Let's figure out how to do this. Require module before loading the intro. This is useful for compilers such as this using TS Node. I guess we're going to be doing this one. Okay. So npm install save dev TS Node. So as I said before, TS Node is the thing that allows us to run TypeScript without having to build it first. And that helps because then we actually get the actual line numbers when we run it. And then we're going to put in our require tsnode/register into our package.json, the script here. Right there. And then hopefully this just works. Do an npm test. No. But also you notice that there was quite a larger delay there, and that's because we're working with TypeScript, and it's doing that transpilation beforehand. I don't care about type checking. I don't care about type checking right this moment. This is going to be a bit of a problem. What was that, 176? 76, okay. Stop. No, don't hang on me like this. Alright, fine. And the entire thing hanged on me. Thankfully, I'm using tmux, so with any luck, we can just tmux attach this thing and I'm back to... Okay, so now we can just get rid of this one. Close window, because that's not working. We can do this. Tmux is very useful, by the way. If you're not using that or screen, you should very much consider doing that. If you're on Linux, possibly also on Mac. I used to use it when I was working on a Mac before. It allows you to have multiple windows under the same terminal screen, but also importantly, it keeps sessions. So if you're working over SSH, for example, if you're not running with screen or tmux and your connection dies, so does all the programs that you're running. So if you have a tmux window or a screen window session running, then you can just go ahead and reconnect when you reconnect that session when you reconnect to the SSH server. That wasn't a parser, right? The thing with this one, though, 176, label is not allowed here. The thing with this, though, is that this is all generated. This is all generated. And actually, I don't know why label isn't allowed here. Because this looks correct. Actually, it might be because it's a var. A var declaration maybe can't take a label. That's gonna be impossible to find, and probably nobody's come across this. Or how about just TypeScript and JSON? TS JSON. Oh, this is even better. If we change out our JSON implementation to one that understands TypeScript. Then that means we output actual TypeScript. The only problem is this isn't all that popular. Alright. And if it isn't all that popular and not maintained, although this doesn't look like it's all that maintained either. This was 4 years ago. Maybe it doesn't matter. Commits. Wait, I'm in the wrong repo. 113 commits ahead. So really, this is actually... This is a pull request to the original one, isn't it? Trying to enable type check features when using the TypeScript template. I don't have a good feeling about this one. It's probably okay. But also this has 200 and... This has a bunch of downloads. And then JSON itself has a comparative number of downloads. I mean, this one has much fewer weekly downloads, so I don't know what happened over here. But also alpha. I don't know about that. Oh well. But how do we deal with this? A label is not allowed here. Can we just have it not check this one? Alright, JSON, tell me how to put in headers. I'm gonna look at this fork here. Because this one is not the original JSON. Whoa! Oh, 2000. What have you fixed? It's still all 4 years ago, though. Alright, what are we looking at? We are trying to find a way to put in a header to the file. Using the generated parser. You can do that without the thing. Using parser from the web. Sure. Constants for JSON. Grammar. Compiles down to JS. Lexical analysis. We're still looking for. That's not what I need. A prefix. There's a wiki. Prefix. Header. No. Alright, we'll go to the docs. I think these are all the docs. Demos. I don't know if we have something that, I don't really have something that okay, no, I do remember something though. I feel like I remember reading something that says you can put this code in at the very beginning and it'll output it for you. But I don't remember what that looks like. Type right shift count lot 1. Oh, it must be this one, isn't it? Return this. And then if you look at the parser, it does all this. Which, sure, I guess. Actually, can I ignore checking? I think I can probably ignore checking for certain files. TypeScript, ignore check certain files. How do you ignore some files when running type checking? Add TS no check, I can't do that. I can't do that. Exclude. But I need to have these. I need to have the files in the... Okay. I need to have the files included when we're building, but I need to make sure that they just aren't checked. But I'm pretty sure we already have check.js as false. Oh, no, we don't. Okay. I'm going to disallow this. Not check.js, because I don't care about the... I don't really care about the correctness of the JavaScript files because we aren't going to be writing any JavaScript. So npm run builds should allow us to build this without any errors. Oh no, this is in the parser, that's fine. The one for the other one went away. So npm test, we go back to this, and then it actually runs because it doesn't check the JS files. Great, this is what we want. So just have a look at what we have in here. TS config, and that's don't check JS files. When we're done with the migration, we won't be creating any JS files. The generated parsers are also throwing error. Can we be specific about what that error is? Probably. I may have passed it. Glenn, welcome in. Hello. We are just converting things to TypeScript. Something I should have done way long ago. Okay, so then we have that, and we have get status, get diff. This allows us to run tests. JSON, get commits, run tests with TS nodes. Just want to make sure I'm saying the right things. You're working on creating the tools for an esolang called awafudge, right? Yes. So I am writing specifically a compiler, or transpiler, and an interpreter for an esoteric language called awafudge that is based on BF. Okay, what do we have? Right now, we built it in JavaScript, and I'm converting it to a slightly different language called TypeScript, which is basically JavaScript but with types. And it'll make it a lot easier to easier and nicer to write in. I think this just means that we need to go ahead and convert the rest of these then. So then we can take what's the next easiest one? Parser we didn't write ourselves, so that's fine. The interpreter we aren't done with, so we're going to leave that as is. Formatter. The formatter we can move source formatters awafudge.ts. And so then we can make this import token types. And then we can do export. Format. Export default format. I think that should be it. npm builds, npm run builds, declaration emits for this file requires using a private name parser and explicit. Okay. Oh, and I missed the from too. From. Parameter tokens implicitly has an any type. That's fine. We can deal with that. Add source formatters awafudge.tsjs. Converts awafudge formatter to TS. And then we're going to type these things because we need types for this. So tokens here is an array of token types. It's not quite right. A token. And here's where we create a new file. Token.ts. Export interface. Token. Where we have a type of type token type. Okay, so I guess in this case this actually makes sense to have. Imports token type from token type. So we're declaring that a token has a property called type that has a type token type. In this case, the token type is an enum from what we had earlier. And then I think this depends on whether we on what type it is. So we look back at our parser. We'll look back at our tests. And in this case, our tests have, our tests serve as our documentation because we don't have any other documentation. So we have 3 types, I think. We have token type increments, count 1, or so sorry, the increments, decrements, left shifts, right shifts, all have counts on them. The loops don't. Writes and reads do not. Loop has content though. So we have 3 types. We have the loops, we have the what do you call it? The numeric instructions, and then we have the IO instructions. So actually, I don't think interface is going to be the right one to do. Let's call this base token. Export interface. Countable token. So now we're going to be doing an extends here. Is that right? This is probably fine. There are other ways we can express this, because we can do a interface countable where it doesn't extend anything, and we say that count is equal to number. And we can say exports interface countable token extends base token countable. Extends implements. I haven't touched this in a while. Interfaces. In Java you implement interfaces, but when you're actually extending interfaces, I think it's extends. And I think you can actually extend multiple interfaces, and I think it's the same thing in TypeScript. Okay, so do extends, implements. Yeah, so classes implement interfaces. Okay. And you can extend multiple. I don't know that we need to do this here. I don't think we need to break it down that much. So we're not going to do that. So countable token extends base token. And we add a count of type number. And we also export interface IO. I don't like this. IO token assumes too much about the implementation. In this case, an IO token is just that. There's nothing. It extends nothing from the base token. Exports interface loop token extend. I also don't like this. And then this has contents is token array. But what is a token? Export type token is equal to some sort of base token type. Countable token or IO token or loop token. This doesn't seem right. I also need to make use of a feature called discriminated unions, where depending on the type, it can tell what kind of which member of the union it is. So a union type is something that can be one thing or another thing. Sometimes both at the same time, but you generally treat it as one or the other. Ah, yes, the best feature of any language that has it. Yeah, it's very useful. Let's see, discriminate. It doesn't have it on this one. Discriminating unions. I don't know why it has it on the old page or not the new one. So basically, it says here we have, say, a network loading state with a state here. That's what we have here, or sort of. And we have failed states, which is this. Right, it has state failed. Network success rate, which is this. Right, and these are all being discriminated by the state property, which has very distinct values. And then depending on what the value of this is, it knows that if it's failed, then it has a property code and it doesn't have the property response, and so on and so forth. Right. So I think this is what we're trying to go for here. And when we have a network state here, that unions them all. So a network state is one of these three. So in our case, actually, I think what we need to do is get rid of this base token thing. We need to do type is equal to token type dot. And I don't have completion. Alright, we're gonna have to do this from scratch. I gotta figure out what to do with the... There's a way to get completion here. Apparently I don't have it set up. So accountable token is right shift 4. Left shift or an increment, decrement. I think that's it. And I think you can actually do this, as weird as that is. And we can get rid of all these extends base token. We don't have that anymore. And then count as a number. An IO token. And then we actually have to say that this is a type. Token type dot write or token type dot read. If I had linter, it'll probably complain about this. We don't have a linter in this one though, so it's fine. Linter, for those who don't know, is basically a tool that goes through your code and tells you what's wrong with it style-wise. So not necessarily with correctness, although sometimes it can do correctness, but say if you're using tabs instead of spaces, or your braces are in the wrong spots, or things like that. It helps to use a linter to have a consistent style throughout your code, which is fairly important, especially if you're working with other people. So this is a type token type dot loop. Const token, export type token, countable token, IO token, or loop token. Okay. I don't know if countable is the correct thing here. How would you describe these for? These are cell actions, except this is also a cell action. Oh well. All right, 539. Good night. Thanks for stopping by. You know what? This will be fine. Doesn't really matter too much. So I'm doing a totally unrelated thing. Pulled out my violin and tracking. Are you okay? Arithmetic. It's not quite arithmetic because left shift and right shift here are not shifts on the actual value. They're the shifts on the pointer. So you're either moving left or moving right. Doing a totally unrelated thing. Pulled out my violin, instrument I've played for many years, thinking about how to take the steps to get a properly fit shoulder rest for it. Tracking, are you okay? Hold on, I'm just gonna move my... I think my microphone's in the way. I actually don't know how you're supposed to fit a violin shoulder rest, because I got one. The violin that I'm using came with one, and I'm not sure if it actually came with one or if my sister had gotten one that fit her. It still managed to fit me though, I think. Still twitchy. Yeah, I don't know if is this network or is this... Hello? I don't know if this is network or if this is local to the computer. Is this a rendering thing? Okay, no, there's definitely something up. This is probably network. I'm gonna restart vtuber Studio and see if that helps. So, pulling back the curtain a little bit, the way I'm tracking is using vtuber Studio on a mobile Android device. And so the tracking data is sent over the network to my PC, and Inochi Session listens on it and gets the... Is it Inochi Session's fault? Is that what it is? Yeah. Clearly should have streamed on different platforms. You know, I was thinking about that. Today we're not streaming on Twitch. So it must be because we're not on Twitch right now that it misses us. Okay, I'm gonna restart. I'll be right back. I'm gonna try to fix this. Yeah, I don't know what's up. It's still twitching. Actually, Firefox is using 100% CPU. What's going on here? How about performance? Alright, I mean, you're not going to be able to see this. Because just in case something happens. Or just in case I'd be showing something that it shouldn't be. Unload tab and kill processes. Alright, I hope this doesn't kill anything that I need. Aha. Okay, well that didn't help. Oh wait, I guess we're gonna have to put up with that for now. Kind of unfortunate, but... Or, I can put up a PNG. It's too annoying. It is annoying me a little bit. Maybe. I'm thinking about it. I am thinking about it. Okay, I'm gonna do that. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm gonna go in PNG tuber mode this time. Thank you, Discord Reactive. Or Fujitech Reactive, rather. Okay, well this will have to do. Where were we? We're doing this. I was explaining how we were going to be doing discriminating unions using this. So we have types here as the IO tokens, the loop token, the shift and increment, decrement tokens. I don't know what we're going to call these, but countable token for now. And then we have the token type as all three of these. So from there, if you know that, say, the token type here, if it is one of right shift, left shift, decrement, increment, then you know that it has to be that it has to be of this type, countable token, because this doesn't appear anywhere else, right? That doesn't appear anywhere else. So it has TypeScript knows and can infer that it has the count property here. And so this access here, the token.count, is safe because it knows that it has this here. Same thing, write and read, we don't really do anything with that. And in the loop, it knows that it by the same manner, it has token.content because it has this, and we know that it's that. So token here, format tokens of type token. Wait, this isn't quite right. Where are we? We were over here. So tokens here. So we import token from token. This is of type token. Array. Process direct is true. Formatted implicitly has indirectly its own initializer. What does that mean? Oh, it type any because I need to know what that says. Implicitly has return type any because it does not have a return type annotation. Token is of type token type. Oh no, token is of type token, so this is fine. Token. But we need to say that this is a type string. I think this is type string. Previous white space of this. What is this? That. Okay. Then replace all. Formatted is a type. Property replace all does not exist after set our transpiler to 2021 or later. Which I think should be fine because we don't have... Yeah, I'm okay with 2021. 2016. So these here are language version numbers. So every year there's a new version of ECMAScript, which is what JavaScript is based on. And certain features are only found in certain versions of the language. So in this case, the replace all here was only introduced into the language as of 2021, officially. I'm going to put that in a tsconfig, tsconfig.json, git commit, bump target ES version to 2021. This allows the use of string.prototype.replace all, which we are using. Okay, so then from here, this is a token, and really this token here is what gives us the most benefit, I think, from this from the conversion to TypeScript. Because without this, we don't really have anything that tells us what the token type is. This also needs a format options. We'll deal with that later. Prefix, this was a string. This is a number. And the suffix is also a string. So we have that. interface format options is process directives Boolean. Property of process directives required in type format option. We're going to call this partial format options because we don't need all of the options here. But I also want to make sure that actually no. This is maybe it does make sense to not have this partial. So the question mark here says it's optional. You do not need to include this property. So return process directives, replace all, otherwise we'll do formatted. So that is fine. And then this returns a string, which I think we said before. That returns a string, which is fine. Format it like this, just so it's a little bit nicer to read. I'm also going to format this like this, so it's also nicer to read. This returns a string. Export default format, export format. Which I don't think we need to do again. We just export format here. We'll just do that. Also export the interface for this. And then this is a helper function that we do not need to export, so that's fine. We can keep that private. And this is also private. Yes, okay. So this should be fine. This should be fine. npm run test. npm run builds. Alright, and we don't get any errors for that, which means our conversion was successful. Source tokens, ts, commit. Convert awafudge formatter to yes. Also creates new tokens, token interface, token type that describes the various tokens. And then we do the same thing for the BF formatter. So once again, undo everything here, move format source formatters this to that, and then export default format, then export this over here. Yes, I know it has an implicit any type, but we'll fix that. Alright, so we move the file. And we import. Import token type from token types. Import token from token. Tokens. So this is a token array. This is a string. I think the rest of this is okay. And then this formatter is a lot simpler than the other one because there's a lot less stuff to do. So this one is actually fine. Okay. If we go back to the token types, we can put in export enum token type and get rid of that here. And then we are going to change this over here. This one. Get fix up. Get fix up here is an alias for gets commit fix up, and then this here. And this, what it does is it creates a commit that is tagged with fix up, so that when you go ahead and rebase afterwards, like what we're going to be doing here, auto squash, then it automatically moves the fix-up commits to this and marks it as fix-up. And what this will do is it'll squash the changes from here into the commit into the previous commit here. And this makes for a much nicer Git history. So we're going to go ahead and do that. There's also a similar flag called squash and similar directive called squash, and that's the same thing as fixup, except that it lets you edit the commit message afterwards. Fixup will just use the same commit message. Alright, so we are doing that. Those are the parsers. Sorry, those are the formatters, and now we can do the interpreter. Cell size is 8, require token types. I'm not quite done with this one yet. Move. To TS file. Then we export. Then we do this. Move interpreter to TS file. Just make sure that we are testing correctly. Okay, these are all from the interpreter, which is fine. Because import token type, we still need to process this file. From token types, but also import token, I think. Import token from tokens. So run program, this is a type pro token array. Export interface interpreter. Actually, hold on. We don't need to do that. Class itself is a type declaration as well. So all we have to do is say state is a number array, I think is what this is, and then pointer is a number, and that should be enough to satisfy that. I think that's correct. Okay. And then we can... and then we can make... what do you call it? We can annotate these. Actually, we document them. Well, we can document them afterwards. Okay, test. We should see nothing. Can run builds. Should still see nothing. Except for the ones in the parsers, but we can deal with that. Convert interpreter to JS. To TS. Okay. And that's the interpreter. Now we have to deal with the... Now I have to deal with the parsers. Declaration emit for this file requires using private name parser and explicit type annotation main block declaration emit. So that's what we need to do. We're going to have to create a file called awafudge.d.ts, and the reason why we don't want to do this inside the file is because this file is automatically generated. So we want to make sure that we annotate it outside the file. And to do this, we are going to be creating a thing called parser. Actually, hold on. We might already have a thing called parser. I hope. No, I want types JSON. Like this. Okay, nobody's done this yet. TypeScript. I mean, somebody has probably done this yet already. Tweak to use just enough templates to make TypeScript compilers tolerate the generated parser. This works. I'm using a few JavaScript TypeScript projects and runs all of the original tests except for the ones that generated AMD and COM.js packages, which we don't really care about. Okay. So we could, in theory, just switch to this. But also... yeah, maybe not. That's okay. Just gotta figure out what this looks like. Var awafudge exports.parser. I think that's exports parser parse main. What are we actually looking to do here? Declaration emit for this file requires using a private name parser and explicit type annotation and block declaration emit. Because it needs the parser.prototype, which is this thing. Export interface parser. Do I care to put in all of these? I don't know. I don't think so. And I don't think we need to either. We only need the important parts. And for one thing, parser I don't think is important. Or maybe it is. parse is important. Parser.prototype is equal to parser. Function parser this.yy is equal to that. Exports parser equals awafudge. Parser is awafudge.parser. Exports.parse. Export function parse is equal to nothing and returns that's not quite right. Well, what is awafudge.parse then? What are we using here? Actually, we aren't using anything here. We aren't doing anything here just yet. Export function parse is equal to string. Program is a string and returns a token array in our case. Import type token from tokens.ts. So parse returns a token type there. And then we have export interface parser. I don't know if we care about that. npm run build. We do kind of care about it. Awafudge is a type something. See, we don't care about all this stuff. The parse error function receives a hash object, these parse grammar errors, all that. Once again, we don't really care. Function parse input, so this should be called input. So type string and then returns a token. But then awafudge is a function that returns what? Returns new parser. Export interface parser, and then maybe we don't care what's in it. That's gonna be kind of difficult to type. Okay. TypeScript d.ts. So there's, I think we have to do some declare. Do we have to do declares? So the way that DTS files are written, they're slightly different than regular TS files, because all these do is they're describing just types. They don't describe any of the implementations. They're kind of like header files in C and C++, but not quite. We don't need to export the const here. Oh, maybe we do. Maybe we no. We don't need to export that. Export function, declare const hello world regex, export default regex. Maybe we need to declare that. I need something with a... the private variable. Cons fastify, core fastify. No, I don't care about that. Types and modules. You may want to provide a type for JavaScript code which does not exist, which can be described as this. So function get array metadata. Is this? Sure. Function get array metadata returns this stuff here. Return generic. Which we're probably going to have to deal with in a bit. Namespace is a module. Actually, no, we can use the same thing for both parsers. I think we can use the same one. Namespace is module code. Namespace. No, I don't think we care about that. Okay. Actually, maybe it doesn't even see this. How does it see this? Module.exports. Declaration files. Introduction. Documentation. Let results. Declaration. mylib. From that. Which is not what we care about necessarily. Reusable types. Interface. Declare function greet. Reusable types. So maybe we need to do declare on awafudge of type parser. This is still going to fail. So then the question is, does this even see the declaration files we have? Enable importing files with any extension provided the declaration file is present. I don't think that's quite what we're looking for. Specify the output directory. No, we need the input directory. Allow importing TS extensions. True. Allow imports to include TypeScript file extensions requires module which we don't care about. Alright, what else do we have here? Modular libraries defines import star A. Global libraries. We don't have any of those. Identifying a UMD library, which is not what we have. If your library depends on a global library reference types, we can't use this because this is all generated code and we don't have that. It should just be fine to use the DTS stuff. And it should be fine to have it all in the same directory, I think. Do I actually have to reference it? How to reference TypeScript's declaration file. Without having to use the triple slash directive. Actually, we can also look at the svelte direct GitHub svelte's GitHub. Can look at how this does it, because I know this definitely has DTS files. Compiler, not there. Source, action, animate, export interface animation config, flip. It's not what we're looking for. How do you do this? Export star from imports, add imports. It's not quite what you're looking for, man. Okay. How does this check? I have an explicit interface called parser, but I don't know if this is picking it up at all. See, I've never worked with DTS files. I only know how to do with regular TypeScript files. Okay, next. Describes how to use declaration files and value declarations to inform TypeScript, but modules and values not declared in your source code. Reading. I think we need the actual book for that. Authoring new declarations. Finally, get started writing our own declaration files. First, fix up the comments for index DTS. Okay, we don't care. Export as namespace. This, we don't really have a namespace, so this should be fine. So we have the exports. It's this. Where to put the DTS file, and how do I reference them? I don't think this is quite what we're looking for either. I don't think I need to declare module, do I? Okay. Declaration true, emit declaration only, which we don't care about. Declaration map, run in compiler. No. Must reside in a TS or ideally DTS files without any imports, exports being present in the same file. It's not our use case. Magically available interfaces are globally types is highly discouraged and must be left to legacy stuff. It's kind of what we're working with. Should you not be using ambient declaration files for code that you're writing? We are not writing this code, so this is fine. It's meant to stand in place of the external non-TypeScript code. Global types are discouraged, whatever. By the way, if any of you know how to work with this stuff, let me know, because I don't know how to work with this stuff. Do we need to declare a module? I don't think so. Import some library. No, this is for global declaration files. We don't want that. Should I use DTS for my types? The only time you should be writing definition files manually is converting a JavaScript library for TypeScript. Site saves use in TypeScript, which is what we're doing. Sort of. But then the question is, how do you do this? If I export defaults, yeah, alright, so exports.main is this one. We don't really care about. Export parse, this is this one. Or parser. Is of type parser. Export parser is equal to parser as well. Declare class parser. Exports parser? I don't think that's correct. Well, also that probably has to come first. Explicit annotation block may unblock the declaration admits. Hi, can you export declare? Oh, you can export declare. Okay. Does this work? No, it does not. Oh, we're gonna be stuck here until we figure this out. And then after that, it's probably the end of the stream. Should first understand declare keywords. TypeScript declare keyword is used to declare variables that may not have originated from a TypeScript file. Okay, sure. So after you declare it, when we go back to whatever we're doing here, sure. TypeScript playground. I want to see how this thing compiles. Only on DTS. Actually, no, I don't think this is. Oh, this is quite correct either. Settings. Definition files. Yeah, I don't know if this is quite correct. Because we're not looking to run, or we're not looking to call TypeScript. We're not writing TypeScript definitions. We're writing TypeScript declarations. Const declarations must be initialized. Yeah, but also we're not doing that. I don't think this is quite lit. Definitely typed. Creating a definition file. Codeplex has a great, which is gone. Contribution, create a definition file, which I think we looked at before, which is this actually. Ghost modules. Instead of polluting the global namespace with any interfaces, it is okay to create a module that contains interfaces only. This also allows you to open up further customization in external modules, extending built-in types, getting getter setter. Callback signatures, function overloading, overload over ordering. It's not what we're looking for. Alright, I guess we go back to this. Typing an npm package with no types, it's not what we're looking for. Declaration reference. Library structures. Do's and don'ts. Global variable mylib has a function, gate make greeting. We looked at this already though, that's not what we need. Not quite what we're looking for. We're trying to make a DTS file for a file that we have currently in our directory that is automatically generated by a tool, which means we can't edit that file. We have to create a declaration file around it. But it doesn't tell me where I'm supposed to put these declaration files. And how it is that TypeScript recognizes that they're there. Consuming. From there, you'll be able to use Lodash in your TypeScript codes, because it should just work. Searching, for the most part. If the declaration file you're searching for is not present, you can always contribute one back. Okay, hold on. Where is this? So if this is in compiler, this has all these public DTS things, which means that it must be referenced in this package JSON somewhere. Types index DTS. Okay, hold on. So what if I just parsers? Do I see anything in here? I do not. Main module exports. Okay, I'm going to clone this. So that we can do some searching on it. Actually, we don't need to do that. We just search for public.dts. Generate types. Why do you have a JavaScript file for this? Paths. C. Okay, Svelte is probably not the best reference there. It does a lot of renaming and stuff, which we are not doing. Declare keyword in this specific case is apparently useless, and I think TypeScript should consider making this an error. Yeah, that's what I thought. You should just, when you export a declare class, if you export a class expecting someone to import it, then you don't need to declare it. And because you're declaring this class by definition, this class should be usable without the need to import it. This is not true when you export declare class. You need to import it to use it. Why does this not work? the error that we're getting is declaration emit for this file requires using a private name parser and explicit type annotation may unblock the declaration emit. Now, I think that might actually be because of this. Because awafudge is parser. Parser.parser? Is that a thing? Parser.parser? Parser.parser. It's definitely here, okay. Export declare class parser, which has a thing on its prototype called parser, which is a type parser. Circular reference. Maybe this is enough to fix it. No, apparently not. So where does this parser come from? It comes from this. There's this object here. Which is this thing over here. Sort of. I mean, even this is not quite right either. Parser.parse. Exports const parse is a type parser export const parser is type parser and then awafudge, which doesn't actually exist. So this should just work, I think. So now the question is, how does TypeScript actually pick this up? Because I'm starting to think, well, yeah, I've been thinking this for a while, but I don't think it's picking it up. We have the DTS file in the same directory as the JS file. But kept inline in the same directory as the DTS file. It has the same name points. Okay. Inline. I think that might be what we're looking for. Inline. Inline source is true. Include source code in the source maps. No, that's not what we're looking for. Inline sources. Point the JS/TS code that needs the types from the DTS files to the DTS files. How? Oh. Oh, actually, we need to import the DTS instead of the thing. So test.js and test DTS are in the test.dir folder. Then you import it like this in a React component. The DTS was exported as a namespace like this. I'm still a little bit confused here. I don't want... do I need to export a namespace? Shouldn't have to create a namespace. Install this. Okay, sure. I have this, exports, and then you create a DTS file. Declare a module. I shouldn't... I'm not creating a module though. But I'm not creating a module. But maybe I have to have a module? So mass string. So DTS file there, and then you have this, you have the DTS check. Oh, we can't do that. This has -4. Type roots. Do we need type roots? I don't think we need type roots. Specify multiple folders that act like this. Which, in our case, is just the current directory, so I don't think that's... I don't think that's quite right. Anyone else? These are all from the docs. I gotta set up that user script that redirects to old Reddit. Every TS file in an ES module can import and be imported by other ES modules. Sure. That's where DTS files come in. TypeScript can't find a TS file for an import, it will look for a corresponding DTS file instead, which is what we have. The DTS file contains the minimum information TypeScript needs to understand the exports of the ES module, regardless of how the module will be implemented at runtime. So is it the case then that we should not be allowing JS? Hold up. No, is this actually the solution? We just don't allow JS? No, because then we don't get the parsers. That's not quite right. Where to put your files? You can have a DTS file which dumps types in a global scope available everywhere in the program, which is not what we want. Declare. Tell us TypeScript not to emit code for declaration, instead asserts it will already exist at runtime. And declare is what we're looking for. Actually, this is a var, so actually we need that instead. If you go back to the TS config, we actually want this to be true because we still need the JS file to be there. Well, it's still not quite it. Declare var awafudge. And this goes all the way to the end. So it goes all the way to the end. Return new parser. Oh, TypeScript, why? You shouldn't need to know about this awafudge thing, I think, probably. Right? It only needs to care about the exports. But I have this DTS here. What do you want? Should just be copying over the declarations that I'm making. Okay, let's figure out what this is saying. For an autonomous constructor function. Allow.js cannot be specified with option declaration. I think is wrong now. Yeah, so this is fine. Can I suppress declarations for JS files? I think I might be able to. TypeScript, suppress declarations for JS files. I mean, this still works for the most part. Maybe we don't deal with this one yet. Maybe we leave this one off and convert the tests over first. Because I don't know how to deal with that. Formatters, awafudge TS. Yes, I probably need to do that. npm install save dev at type/mocha. And then this should be it for everything there. I don't think it should complain about it. And hopefully we still run the same number of tests as before. 84, 107. We do not. Okay. Mocha. Mocha TypeScript. Gotta figure out how to use this thing. TypeScript working examples. Extension TS. It is in one of these somewhere. Maybe it isn't. Package.json. Okay, so now we just move all the JS to TS files. For fn *** dot s do move f replace the JS with .ts. Done. And we'll make this verbose so that we can actually see what it's doing. Whoa, we did not need to do that. Okay. I had meant to do test slash like that. And that's why you shouldn't be overconfident. You should do a dry run first. I think I'm dash n. Dry run. Dry. I don't know. But that was not correct. We don't want to keep the source parsers awafudge.e.ts. Just save that somewhere. Then we're going to get clean dx. F. That's not quite what I needed. I think I just wanted the untracked files, but that's okay. Where's npm install again? Let me copy this. Back to there. Okay. And then we do the whole move thing again. But this time just under test. Okay, that looks correct. npm run test. No test files found. Because we need this. Extension TS. Recursive. Why? Cannot find name it's. Yeah, I know, because we need that. I blew it away when I did the reset. Variable inputs implicitly has type any in some locations where its type cannot be determined. Inputs. Okay. And then let's see what this is. where format comes from here. Or format comes from there. But this has a declaration on it. Implicitly has type any type or that. Then we can change all these to import format from. There's got to be some sort of code mod we can use for this. That imports search. Imports token type. From here. But then we also want to import token from tokens. Argument of type token. Oh, that's. Huh? That is correct, though. That is correct. It's one of these. I don't know what you're complaining about. It's not assignable to type token. Oh, hold on. Because this needs to be an array of tokens. Okay, now you're satisfied. And then we do the same thing for the other one. Is this all the same stuff? We just need to make sure that it's all BF instead of awafudge? I think so. You gonna fail on anything else? Of course you are. Because I didn't actually change anything. Of course we do. Do I care to have this all typed properly? I really should. I really should. Okay, I guess we're going here. Let interpreter be of type interpreter. Import interpreter from this thing. Import token type from this thing. Imports strict as a search from that. And then everything else should be fine. Hopefully. Argument of type token. Okay, that should be everything for that one. What else are you expecting? Variable expected implicitly has a type any in some locations where its type cannot be determined. In the parser. Which means it's also going to be in the same one too. This is going to be of type token again. Import parse from this thing. Imports token type from this thing. Copy that again for token from tokens. And then import strict as a search. And then expected. And then we should see the same thing for the BF version. Okay. So that should be everything for that, and everything else passes. We still have 107 pets. I got add package and then test. We don't want the awafudge to DTS to make it in there. Commit, convert test to TS. Okay. So now all that's left is to figure out what to do with these DTS files. Which, to be honest, I don't know if we're going to be able to do that at the stream. We can keep going. We're only at like an hour and a half, or 2 hours and a half, 2.5 hours. So we can try until we get to 3 hours, and then we get to 3 hours, which is in about 20 minutes. We might consider giving up and figuring it out some other time. But for now, we can keep going. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna drink water here. So what to do about these DTS files? Because from what I gather, TypeScript should be able to figure it out. It should be able to figure out the DTS based on the file. If it's named the same as the JS file, it should recognize that this is the DTS file for this file here. Okay. And then what? If it isn't, then why not? So we have exports.parser is equal to parser. We have export class parser, which is this thing here. We declare that awafudge is to type parser, which is the thing up there, which doesn't matter. Parse is this thing, and then I think main, CommonJS main, args, exports.parser.parse. What if we say export main, export function main takes in any, returns any. Potentially. Actually, what does this even do? Require path, normalize args. Oh, this is a file. Read file sync path. String array. I guess. This returns a token array. Okay, that was not enough. Yeah, I don't think this is a valid declaration either. Main is equal to module, then exports main is that type require is equal to undefined, not undefined, exports is not equal to undefined, and do this. Otherwise, if it's a module, we do this. Or what is module? Oh yeah, module. Module.exports. Oh, wait a minute. You can actually just run this as a... Really? Okay, I think we found this out last stream. Okay. Okay, I guess. So what can you do with that? Because you return the thing. Require FS, read file sync, require path normalize. You run the parser on it. So you wouldn't actually be able to do anything. You would run the file. And you parse the file. Okay, so main is actually going to be useful for later. When we do this, because apparently we don't even have a CLI runner for this yet. Parser prototype is equal to parser, which contains a bunch of whole other stuff that we don't care about, and parser.parser is equal to O. No, that's correct. Parser.parser, which ends up being the prototype of parser. So this does have a self-reference on it. Return new parser, which means we have awafudge.parser, this thing. We have a global parser instance, and then we have a reference to the original parser, which has a reference to itself. It's not static. It's not static because it's a prototype. And then we have the parse function, which returns this. And it's also on the global parser. And we have main, which works for the CLI stuff. But how do we get it to read this? I don't understand. Is this a thing? Common JS main? I don't know it to be a thing. Oh, no, that makes sense. Package JSON main. Okay, I see it. Inside of package JSON, there's a thing called main where node start, npm start will run the main program. And so if it's invoked with a as a command line, it'll take the first arguments somewhere. Yeah, this here. It'll run it with the arguments. Yeah, that makes sense. But that's not what we're here for. To me, this looks like a correct declaration file, so I don't know what it's expecting. The build doesn't work. Declaration emit for this file requires using a private name parser and explicit type annotation may unlock. Declaration emit. But you're working on JS files, so you should know that it can't put in type declarations. I'm already saying, well, I was saying declare var awafudge parser. So what do you want? Function parser. No, but you're already doing that. awafudge.parser. What if we remove this? Well, let's figure out what's causing it to have issues. Okay, so it's definitely because of this. But it's private, so we can't do that. But I'm already saying that I'm saying var awafudge is a type parser. Should already know about this. TS 9005. How to fix it? Oh, better not tell me this is not fixed. But it's possible this isn't fixed yet. Okay, it's a 956 though. Declare const underscore temp. More limitation in the way we bind module exports thing, although it looks like it could be translated to export thing, we actually have to treat it as this thing. Oh. So that means that we actually need to do export equals this thing. And we don't need this. Parser, parser with lowercase p. Main, like this. Does this work? No. Oh, is it exports? No, export equals underscore temp. Declare const temp is equal to thing. It's probably possible in special cases exact pattern emit to export thing. So our workaround, check.js false, allow JS false, but I kind of need that. What's a type annotation? Minimal example extends this thing. Constructor. Maybe we skip down to the bottom and see if there's any resolution here. TypeScript 4. This reference this. Require. Ugh. We aren't even doing any requires though. I'm doing a build. Export function, export class, export, import. Emit declaration only. Which we don't want. We're not looking to emit declarations only. But presumably they fixed it already, so we should be able to just do this. But then why? Is it even reading this thing? The question is it reading this file, and how do I tell? Hit limb check. File.js cannot be specified, which is not the case anymore. This is all 3.7 use perspective, understand that try to make const name type of thing, except we can't name a thing because it's unreachable. Declare a class name. Constructor. Well, we don't need to declare, we already kind of... The thing is, it's a private thing though, right? So we can't actually do that. Okay. Disable. Oh, I think we looked at this already. Declaration emit for specific files TypeScript. Declaration flag ensures TSC generates the type declaration files, which is fine. They land in the correct folder dist. So actually, hold on. Going back, I think that means then we don't need declaration dir because it's the same thing. It's redundant. Let me just get our DTS there. Okay, that's good. Build to dist directory. So we can do this. Git fix up this thing. Git rebase auto stash auto squash this, but it's one back. I don't know, maybe this is a another day problem. We're coming up to 3 hours. One's with Babel, one with TSC, all the things, check types, emit declaration, transpile, build. TSC, no emits. Oh, interesting. Oh, that might be a pattern. So this one is suggesting doing a types, something that checks the types separately. I don't know if this is necessary, but I suppose it could be useful. Sorry, give me a bit. I just remembered something. Okay. Not possible to do this. Okay. I think I'm gonna have to do some research on this offline and just try to figure things out. Because I cannot figure out why this isn't working. And I mean, I know what's wrong. I don't know how to fix it. So we're gonna have to do this. And hopefully by the next, yeah, I'm gonna have to do this offline. If any of you know how to fix this, send me a message on the Discord. Discord's right there, also in the description for anyone who can't access chat. Yeah, I don't know what's wrong here. Sorry, no, I do know what's wrong. I don't know how to fix it. And hopefully by the next time we work on this, we can get it fixed. So I think this is the only thing that's left in terms of getting everything moved over to TypeScript. We got the test done. I haven't tested on everything else in the source. It's just the parsers that we can't get because this doesn't seem to be. This doesn't seem to like it. Or, actually, hold on. Can we just make this? Can we just make this emit a TS file? Can we just do that? What happens if we say TS? It's gonna complain about the whole. It's gonna complain about it. Hold on. Move this out of the way too. Actually, I could just stashed it. npm run. What was it? npm run builds parser. Okay. We already knew this was a thing. I don't know if there's any way we can fix this. But npm run builds is going to complain about the label, which in itself is on a bunch of whole other stuff actually. Considering that JSON, hold on. Remember that npm JSON, this thing is actually pointing to the old one, which hasn't been updated in 4 years. And then we have the TS thing. Maybe it is okay to use this. TS JSON. Maybe it's fine. Considering this has been updated, like this is ahead of master, which means there's no code in here that does not exist here. So I think to make it easier for ourselves, we can just use this. Okay. I'm not particularly thrilled about that, but okay, so then we just do. Hopefully this still works. Node modules.bin, and hopefully we still have a JSON, and it's now a TS JSON. And then it might just work as is. I was working on the thumbnail for one hand clapping for this one. Nothing particularly bad about that. Then with any luck, this should just work. Apparently not. Apparently not. Am I missing anything else? Can I tell it to ignore the any's? TypeScript. I think I need to do TypeScript. Hey, look at that. Look at that. What does N do? This probably doesn't give me any of it. Yeah, dash N. Doesn't tell me anything about dash N. Usage from command line. npx JSON calculator JSON. Which is actually wrong for this one. It didn't change the thing. Didn't change the thing. npx ts JSON. Help. Dash N name prefix for name of parser and lexer to emit. Okay. Well, that's fine. You know what? This is fine too. Convert parsers to TS. Use a TypeScript aware fork of JSON to emit TypeScript friendly parsers. I'm not too thrilled about having these parser files in source control, because they really shouldn't be. But for now, they're probably fine. For now, I'm gonna say it's fine. I'm gonna fix it later. Make sure the tests still run. Of course they don't. Has no exported member parse. Why not? You used to. Oh, it's a class now. It's a class now, I see. Awafudge lexer. We need to do new parse every time. I think so. New awafudge parser. Extends JSON parser. Implements this thing. G exports. It is only just those two, which means we do have to create parsers. Come on, man. Yeah, at least document this thing. Structure, new awafudge lexer. Okay. We're gonna have to change all of our tests. Actually, we may not need to change all of our tests. We will need to change some of the tests. But we may be able to get away with... We may be able to get away with not doing that. I don't like this prefix. There's got to be a way to do that without having that. N and then empty, probably. Like this. And then we'll just have parser, which is what we would have anyway. Also, if I spell it right, which means oh, I didn't even do that. Okay. Can I still fake it? Can I fake it? Can I do this? I wonder if I can fake it. Build parser. Illegal module name. Alright, fine. Fine. I'd rather not have a prefix like that. But if you have to, then I guess we have to. I'm not about to fork this thing. Statements are not allowed in the ambient context. Top level declarations in DTS either declare or export modifier. Well, that would make sense. Not that this file exists anymore, but so if that means that we need to create one every time, we have this. Let's parser is equal. We do before each. So before each is a way to run some code before each test, hence the name. Parser equals new VF parser. everywhere where we have parse, we will do that as parser.parse. And then hopefully this will work. Well, let's test that out first. Oh, the only thing we should end up with are the awafudge ones. Yes. So we can do the same thing that we did there. And then we have the same thing here, but instead of BF, we have awafudge. And this is why I didn't want to have that. But there we go. Let's have that as cheat. And I expect everything to just work. And everything should still work. Okay. All of our tests pass. Everything is now TypeScript. All right. Yeah, that's probably it then. Do we have any more JS files? No, we don't. Okay. Do we have any more JS files in the test directory? We do not. Can run build. We're good here. Alright, great. Everything is moved over to TypeScript, which means the next time we deal with this, we can actually work in TypeScript, and it'll be a little bit nicer. Okay. Yeah, we're up to 3 hours now. Next stream is going to be tomorrow, also at 7:30 Eastern. We're going to be going back to our pieces arrangements. Arrangement of Hoshimachi Suisei's song, the Pieces, the Lost one. This will be streamed on both here, YouTube, and Twitch, because more people need to hear the song, and the song needs to stay alive. So you don't hear this one anymore because of ownership licensing reasons. It's very unfortunate, but we're doing our part. Okay, is that it? I think that's probably it. Oh, actually, there is one more thing. I'm gonna bring this up over here. Oh no! Oh, not Saturday. We are having these. Let's hide this window here. Saturday we have a collab coming up with a few friends. Streamer friends, Bell, Hessel, who we've seen on the channel before, Lure, and then me. We'll be teaching them how to play Mahjong. That'll be at 3 p.m. Eastern. So, if you don't know how to play Mahjong and would like to learn, this will be for you. If you know how to play Mahjong and would like to see people learn, this is also for you. So watch out for that. Anything else? I think that's it. Sorry, I do feel like I'm a little bit. It's a lot. We did a lot tonight, but we're finally on the TypeScript. But yeah, the next stream will be this one. That'll be tomorrow. So do consider making it up for that one. We make some good music. And then for those of you again who are not in the Discord, the link is the last thing in chat. So if you'd like to join the community there, we do have a programming channel, we do have a music channel, and we actually do have a Mahjong channel too. I'm gonna chat with the members. Okay, I really gotta figure out how to end this kind of stuff. But for those of you who are new here, my name is Penbu. I'm new programming, puzzle gaming, and music making VTuber on Linux. With a bit of scuff, we had we had migrated our project to TypeScript. And then now in the future we will have a TypeScript program to work in our esolang. Okay. And with that, I will leave you with a good night and good night. See you next chat, the next stream chat. Bye.